Hello, everybody. Happy, what is it, Wednesday? Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. How are y'all doing? It is the Wild Wild West in football, in the world, in life. It is nuts. Hey, Chris, what's up? What's up, bro? I miss you. Listen, y'all. I'm excited to chat with everybody. Chanel is going to join us at about 6:30. Y'all, the Indianapolis Colts are 6-1. Like, let's just start there. Literally, the Colts are 6-1. Can y'all believe that? It is truly the Wild Wild West. Let me see who's in here. Yes, Daniel Jones is definitely balling. I am a big Richardson fan though, so I feel a certain kind of way because I have followed him since Florida, and I thought he was gonna be the person. But you know, one thing we know about football is that if you are not performing, if you are injured or whatnot, you will be replaced immediately. And same goes for the coaches. We have seen multiple coaches in college and, of course, in the NFL that have been replaced. So it is definitely real in these streets, as we would say. So first of all, cheers to those of you that may be drinking a French 75 with me. Quick story about French 75s. People are asking, like, why French 75s? Da, 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 da. So when I was living in Houston, I went to brunch, and we would always drink mimosas during brunch. And I had a friend that was with me, and it was actually a guy, and he was like, have you had a French 75? And I was like, what is that? So then he was explaining, he was like, if you like mimosas, it's like a little bit stronger if you really want to, have a good time in the morning, etc. So had a French 75 that day at brunch, and I've been hooked ever since. So that's my French 75 story. Then I did a bunch of research about French 75s. Now I try French 75s in multiple countries, and it's my thing. So I drink mine. As you can see, it's a little bit more brown in color because I prefer Grand Marnier over the gin. So usually it's a gin-based drink. It's gin, simple syrup, lemon mixed together, and then topped off with champagne, cava, prosecco, etc. So instead of the gin, I use Grand Marnier in mine, and I usually try to do not so much simple syrup since Grand Marnier is already sweet. So cheers to those of you that are partaking. Okay, so we'll get started. I'm going to get started with just where we are after week 7 with rankings. The teams that we thought were just invincible are losing. People are injured, and it is nuts. So obviously first with the NFC East, Philadelphia is at the top, 5-2, and then Dallas. So, Dak Prescott has been playing his ass off. I mean, Dak obviously has always been a good quarterback, but usually the Cowboys choke before they get to the playoffs. But I don't know what has gotten into Dak Prescott, but he is playing his ass off, and he's from Louisiana. So shout out to Dak. The Cowboys look really good considering losing Micah Parsons, which obviously was a big deal at the beginning of the season. But the Cowboys look like they have put it together. I'm curious to see if they're going to add any more defensive players in the season, but that offense looked like it is pulling it together. You got CeeDee Lamb on one side, you got George Pickens, the new addition, on the other side. He's been balling, like GP has been playing. So the Cowboys, look like a team that is in it to win it. So yes, their defense is a hot mess. They gonna have to figure that piece out. But offensively, compared to some of the other teams, they look like they have put it together. So we shall see what will happen in the next week or so with Dallas. They have some tough opponents in the next 3 games. And so I'm curious to see how, if they'll be able to continue the run that they're on. But Dak Prescott looks really good. As I've been watching my sports YouTube channels, they are already talking about, is Dak an option for MVP this year? So I don't know. I'm curious to see how Dak is going to end the season. But so far, the Cowboys look fairly decent. Again, George Pickens, for me, I'm a big George Pickens fan. I think he's looking really good. I think he complements CeeDee Lamb really well, both having those weapons on both sides. So that's Dallas Cowboys. Again, NFC East, Washington Commanders, New York Giants. Unfortunately, Jaden Daniels is injured. He is going to be out this Sunday. And so their QB2 is going to be playing. And so hopefully Jaden is able to figure out and come back from the hamstring injury that happened to him, because we definitely want to see him out there. So speedy recovery for Jaden Daniels. The Commanders, kind of been looking a little iffy as well. They're definitely going to need Jaden to come back to be able to really get in that playoff contingency. And so hopefully that'll happen. New York Giants, Jackson Dart has looked good. Who would have thought the Giants? I really, honestly, when Malik Neighbors went down for the season, I had a full panic and I was like, oh my God, I don't see how the Giants are going to recover. They've lost their number one weapon, who is out for the season. We had Russell Wilson, and then they made the change to Jackson Dart, and it seems like there's this big burst of energy happening in New York. And so I'm excited to continue to watch the Giants. Would love to hear what you guys are thinking about them. And I believe they are playing the Eagles this Sunday. So a big test for Jackson Dart against the Super Bowl champs to see kind of where they will phase up against them. But the Giants have looked great. Their running back is amazing. I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life, but the running back for the New York Giants and Jackson Dart, that paired up combination, Scatterboo, looks really good. And so we'll see what happens with the New York Giants come this weekend as they face off against Philadelphia, which I think will be a really great game to watch. Moving on to the NFC North, Green Bay is at the top of the rankings. Jordan Love has been playing lights out this year. Another team that I think could be headed to the Super Bowl for sure. Obviously, they acquired Micah Parsons at the beginning of the year, and they look really good. So excited to see what the Green Bay Packers will continue to do. And then Detroit is 5-2. The Lions, again, have also looked really good throughout the year. And so I'm excited to see what the Lions will do as well. The Chicago Bears are like on the heels, right? 4-2. Caleb, his first year, rookie year, year 2, it was a lot of growing pains trying to figure out Chicago Bears. They had some changes in coaching as well. But the past couple of games, Caleb has looked really good. And so now there's a lot of eyes on Chicago to kind of see if they're going to be able to continue with this. They have some great weapons. Obviously, you have Rome Odunze. You have some really great running backs as well on Chicago Bears. And so I'm curious to see where the Bears will end up. And so if you're joining us, good to see everybody. Would love to know what team you're following in the chat so that we can chat about it. NFC South, Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, they are playing well. They have some things to fix as well for Tampa Bay, but for the most part, they're 5-2 and are leading the division. And so obviously being from New Orleans, this is our division. The New Orleans Saints are 1-6. And I am curious what the New Orleans Saints is going to do. What is their plan? If there is a plan for this year. They did acquire, let me check my notes. They acquired a running back, Audric Esteem, or Estime. He is coming from the Denver Broncos. So they have acquired a running back to help the run game. My assumption is to complement Alvin Kamara. I was curious why they didn't keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who came from the Chiefs and went back to the Chiefs. So nevertheless, the Saints have acquired a running back, and we will see what Spencer Rattler will do for the remainder of these games. But currently, they are 1-6 and need to figure out how to turn this around to even have some sort of hope, potentially, to get a wild card. Y'all let me know how y'all are thinking about the Saints. It's hard to watch. As someone who grew up watching the Saints, it is hard to watch. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to turn a new leaf fairly soon. NFC West, 49ers, Seahawks, and the Rams are 5-2. So it's thick in the NFC West. I've been watching the Rams a lot. Devontae Adams obviously added to that group, has been looking really good. Even he is like aging well, if you will. And so Devontae Adams and having Puka on the other side has looked really great. Matthew Stafford obviously has been playing lights out on the Rams. And so I'm excited to see what the Rams will do moving forward. On the AFC side, obviously AFC North, y'all know I follow my Bengals everywhere I go. And so, as you know, Joe Burrow went down with a toe injury. He is out until December. They played their QB for the QB2 for 3 games, which they lost terribly, and then made the trade for Joe Flacco coming out of Cleveland, which I was very surprised about seeing Joe Flacco. But nevertheless, he has looked great. He has, clocked in with those receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, running back Chase Brown. They've been moving and shaking the past 2 games, I believe. And so excited to see what they're going to do next, if they'll be able to keep the momentum. Obviously, the goal is to win a slew of games by December. They're hoping to have Joe Burrow back in December, so that they can make a playoff run. And so we are fingers crossed that Joe Flacco can be that guy for us, so that we can win a series of games and try to get Joe Burrow back in the middle of December. They do have obviously some competitive opponents. They have the Ravens coming up. They do play the Steelers again. They play the Jets on Sunday, and so we're looking forward to that. I hope that there's a win, obviously, with the Jets, and then we have a slew of other games after that. So really, fingers crossed Joe Flacco can continue this momentum in Cincinnati until Joe Burrow is able to come back from injury. AFC North, Baltimore Ravens. I love the Ravens. I really do. Like, a big part of me wants to see Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. Like, I really want to see Lamar in the Super Bowl. I don't know what's really going on with the Ravens. I'm surprised to see, even outside of the injury. I mean, when we were starting the season, Derrick Henry had a ton of drops, which is not like him. It's just been a weird situation with the Ravens. Lamar has been back into practice this week which is exciting. So it looks like he may be able to play on Sunday. So fingers crossed, we'll be watching that to see if Lamar is going to be able to come back so that the Ravens can kind of switch it up and get back into a groove. But they are currently 1-5, which is not the norm for the Ravens in the past couple of years. And so I am curious around what we're going to do around Baltimore. I was looking forward to Thanksgiving. I was hoping to go to Baltimore to see the Ravens-Bengals game, but there's a chance that Lamar or Joe Burrow would not be playing in that game. And so here we are. But nevertheless, we'll see what happens with the Ravens. Okay, moving on to some of the other divisions. Obviously, AFC East, the Patriots, 5-2, Buffalo, 4-2. I feel like the Bills are always on par. Josh Allen is just that guy. The Patriots, who would have thought that they would have been pulling a slew of wins as they have. Obviously, they have Stephon Diggs. They have our guy from LSU, Will Campbell, that's on the O-line. And so the Patriots have looked pretty decent this year. And so a lot of shakeups in the AFC East. AFC South, again, the Colts are 6-1. The Colts are literally the top seed at this point. I don't think anybody thought that was going to be a thing, but it is. The Colts are the team that folks are watching. We're all watching them at this point, and we're curious to see what the Colts are going to do moving forward. The Houston Texans, I don't know what happened with CJ Stroud. I'm a huge CJ Stroud fan. Obviously, I lived in Houston for 10 years. I'm not sure what is going on. I think a lot of even the sports media is trying to figure out, is he off his game? Like, what is going on? Because he's not really playing like himself. Considering he had such a phenomenal rookie year. He had an amazing year, that year two. But the Texans don't look like themselves. And so wondering what's going on there, rooting for them, excited to see what's going to happen moving forward with Stroud. Obviously, there are some amazing weapons on the Texans team. You have Nico Collins, you have Will Anderson on the defensive side, but they have not looked good the past couple of weeks. And so I am curious around the Texans and if they're going to be able to start pulling some wins together this year. Tennessee, similarly to the Saints, are 1-6. Rookie QB, very talented QB, but have not been able to put it together. They have fired their head coach. Brian Callaway has been fired, and they have an interim coach in place. And so we'll see what will happen with Tennessee. My thought is that they will rebuild and prepare to draft. And so I'm curious to see how they're going to draft for next year. But the Tennessee Titans have some work to do. And last but not least, AFC West, you have Denver, obviously at the top, 5-2. Bo Nix has been playing well. Sean Payton is the coach there. Some controversy with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson this week with the tweets being fired away. Obviously, they do not like each other, and we can just get over it, that they do not see eye to eye. Russ has responded to Sean Payton. If you guys haven't saw it, Sean Payton made a comment about the Giants, that they've had a burst of energy with this new quarterback, obviously throwing a little bit of shade to Russell Wilson, who was the quarterback before that, and Russell chimed back on Twitter about him being classless. And so definitely going to stay tuned to that. We love a little drama when it comes to the NFL, and so that was funny to see. But the Denver Broncos have been playing really well, and so they are also a contender and will definitely more than likely make the playoffs. Then we have the Chargers and we have the Chiefs. The Chiefs look like they are coming back. At the beginning, it was rocky with them. Obviously, they lost terribly in the Super Bowl. Took them a while to get into the swing of things. They have Rashid Rice is back as of last week, and so he's been playing well. And so now I feel like the Chiefs are going to get into a groove, and we know what happens when they get into a groove. They become a nightmare for other teams. And so it is going to be interesting to see what the Chiefs will do moving forward. I see Chanel is here. Let me go ahead and add her in. Let's see. There we go.
Hey,
Hi. Good to see you.
good to see you
Let me try to
too.
get my camera together. There we go.
Come on, lighten lip.
Let me look. Let me back it up, Chav. Listen, come on, hair.
Thank you, girl.
I'm here for it. You look fabulous, Chanel. I was literally just wrapping up the rankings, talking about
Mm.
Denver Broncos and the like drama with Sean Payton and Russell
Yes,
Wilson. Which,
out of
listen,
pocket. Put some respect on his name.
you gonna put it because Russ normally does not respond,
Hmm.
politically correct. But this time he was like, I'm not having it.
Because it's
Like,
excessive. If I feel like everywhere he goes, there is like they're trying to create this narrative and paint this picture that he's not who he's been. Like check
right.
his resume.
Super Bowl champ plus and then some. So I'm like, have we forgot that he's not a potential Hall of Famer?
Right, like, and then when the cycle changes, and then it's time for him to be up for Hall of Fame, then they'll be singing different tunes. No, keep that same energy, run that back, say what you said before, because the proof is in the pudding.
It is. It is. Russell Wilson will be in the Hall of Fame. Like,
He
mark
has
my
nothing
words.
left
I
to
don't see a
prove.
world where he wouldn't. Sean Payton, I could go on and on. Clearly, we had Sean Payton in New Orleans for a long time. I could go on and on about how I feel about Sean Payton. But
Child.
let's be clear, he will pipe down
Hmm.
after that clap bag because it was unnecessary. Like that,
Yeah,
there was just no need. We clearly know that clearly they have chosen Jackson Dart. Clearly Jackson Dart has been playing well. We have to give it to him. This young guy has been playing really well, but we will not go back and forth and take shots. Like I just thought that the whole comment was unnecessary.
it was. But and then to your point, what else does Russell have to prove?
Nothing.
He is not
He really could
26
call
years
it
old
quits.
trying to, make a name for himself. It's
Yep,
already done.
it is. It is already done. They, put some respect on Russell Wilson's name. We gonna we gonna leave it like that. And I'm very happy that he did say something because usually Russ does not say anything. Usually he just kind of like says nothing. I
Hmm.
was watching First Take and all of my shows this morning, and they all said the same thing. We're like, yes, like we're happy he responded and said something
Hmm.
because it was unnecessary at the end of the day.
It was.
You
Right,
know.
the tone. Ooh, come on,
So
girl.
nevertheless, we will hop into college ball, which is always really exciting for Chanel and I. We are college football, NFL football, all of things girlies.
Hmm.
So I want to start with currently in the rankings, um, Ohio State,
Hmm.
Indiana, A&M are the top three undefeated, 7-0. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M. I just want to pause. Indiana, you know, and from what
The
I
whole
understand,
state.
the QB is on the list for the Heisman.
I don't know what they're doing up there.
I don't listen.
Keep it up.
Indiana is 2, and the Indianapolis Colts are 6-1. I don't know what they listen. Are they drinking this?
Oh, let me find out. I need to.
Let me
I don't
find
have
out.
it. I need to find out what they're drinking, and just go up there and see. Let me go investigate.
Let me find out they on Grand Marnier because I let me find out. I need to make a
You know
little
what they
dip into
on?
Indiana.
You know what they on, friend? Do say.
They all do say ice with a little Cuba ice.
Yep.
Dropped in a little drink, child, because Indiana is showing off their full ass
Mhm.
cheeks to all of us. Because on both sides, it's lit in Indiana, and I'm happy for them because you don't really hear much about Indiana from a
Mhm.
college standpoint. But they are number
Right.
2. Their QB is lights out. Ohio State and A&M obviously
Yeah, we
have really
expect
good
them.
programs. Yeah,
Mhm.
but Indiana, and then Alabama has now made their way back to number 4 when
And
we
that kind
thought
of surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of surprised me. I mean, it's such a that that conference is so everybody is like it's so good. It's so competitive, and it's like the musical chairs each season, or
Yeah.
really each game day, each Saturday, because you just never know who's going to knock somebody. It's literally like every game is a new game to prove yourself because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's safe in that, conference in any of their
Nothing.
divisions.
It's like one game away. Everybody's like one degree of separation.
Hmm.
We're all waiting for somebody to lose. People are not losing, and
Yep.
it's the Wild Wild West. So A&M, Alabama, and then we have Georgia, Oregon, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Miami, and then Vanderbilt
You
is
know,
number two.
the quarterback at Vanderbilt said he has something to prove. Speaking of something to prove, and
Listen, let's go there because they ruined me, Chanel. I was butthurt at my house, annoyed. I said but before going to Vanderbilt, I was like, LSU, y'all cannot show up there looking the way y'all looked the week before. That offense needs
what's
to be
been
tightened up.
now? I wonder, like, what has been going on with LSU this season because you know the words that when I watch First Take and when I watch my football shows, they're saying Brian Kelly is not safe, and I'm just like, what is going on?
I
This is not the
listen.
LSU I know. This is not LSU NFL, or
I, you know, guys, Chanel and I were both at the homecoming South Carolina game. So she has experienced Death Valley through and through. And we have weapons. That's the part that blows my mind. We have receivers because clearly we are like the top receiving school and we produce a ton of receivers. Number 14, my guy who continues to hold the team, who's our 6'7" tight end, he cannot do this by himself. I'm like, why are we not using the rest of the receivers? Our QB, clearly he was crying on the sideline after Vanderbilt, as he should, because
so
we're
here's
going to
my
have to tighten
wondering:
up.
is it the you don't win games by yourself, you don't lose games by yourself? So is it more so like the plays being called? Is it there's no sense of like team? Because I was watching I think, like I said, First Take, and one thing that Cam Newton said that was really good is like you can't fully depend on the coach to create that family and that team camaraderie amongst
Yeah,
the players. They have to create that. The team, the boys, the men have to want to win themselves.
they
And so
do.
I'm like, is it the coaching staff trying to put that in them and force that in them, or is it that with this new generation of like NIL money and the players just hopping the portals all over the place, there's no sense of like we are one, we are a team, one band, one sound, we're coming in here, we're doing this together. And the coaches, yes, they're going to pour into us and coach and
Yeah.
mentor us, but at the end of the day, like these are my 4 to 5 ish years of eligibility that I'm going to make count.
Yes, I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit of everything because the transfer portal. Matter of fact, one of our cornerbacks this morning reported
How
to
do
the
you
transfer
build a
portal.
team that wins championships when folks are jumping ship like
they're
that?
gonna
I
they're gonna
need you to
jump,
lock in
and
at
and
least
it's
2 years.
mid-season, so you have to think about it. It's mid-season and guys are like, I'm gonna jump and try to figure out the next team I need to be on to win a bowl game because there's going to be 12 teams at the end of this who are going to be vying to try to get to this national championship, and LSU has gone all the way down to number 20 after Vanderbilt. So at this point something is going to have to shake. We are going into A&M on Saturday, which if we pull the upset, there may be hope, but they have to tighten up going into A&M. And as far as Brian Kelly is concerned, let me count. Matter of fact, Chanel, hold on. I have
Yes, help us.
there are four, five, nine coaches this year that have been fired. Nine. I pulled them up.
And it's
Nine.
about to be more because like at Thanksgiving time, every week you will see coaches getting fired.
And they not playing. They fired Southern's coach after homecoming with that loss to PV. Gone. Penn
I mean, the
State.
word on the street is, I've heard a little thing or two. The coaches aren't safe
They're not. They,
because I
they
can't. You
Chaz,
talk about
Chaz
Southern
said we don't
Grambling.
want any of them. Listen, because
We
the
haven't won
reality
either.
is Brian Kelly, the buyout, I believe, is about $50 million.
Mm.
I believe that he is on a thin line, granted. for multiple reasons. If they lose the next couple of, I mean, they still have A&M, they still have Alabama at Alabama, and then we have Oklahoma. When we still have legitimate teams left. 53 million. Thank you, Chaz. His buyout is 53 million at
But
this
LSU
point.
will pay that just to get him out of there so they can get
They
somebody in
need
there to
to.
win. They
But
will.
then who are we going to get? Who is out there? Who is out there? It's there were certain moments when there
Well,
were
he's not the
viable
best,
options.
so there's somebody out there.
Go find Coach O.
Come on back. Come on back.
Ultra. Y'all go find that man
Yeah, they
and bring
got the
him
money.
back. Because one thing about Coach O, that whole team loved him and they were a unit.
You have to be a unit. You cannot be I. There's what they say is no
They
I in
were a
team.
unit. Now, this is before NIL and, this, that, and the other. But the community liked Coach O. I mean, he spoke the language. He was one of us, right? So people just gravitated to him. They need to get him on the main line because I don't see the rest of the year going well. Now, we may pull up, we have done some things in Death Valley. So we may pull up the upset with A&M. But if we've lost to Vanderbilt,
I don't
if
know.
we
Not the
lose to
team that I
A&M,
saw. The way y'all
I
had my
think
blood
three
pressure high for
times is over,
homecoming.
Chanel. I think the third strike, he is going to be on a thin line, and it's going to be a matter of who do they already have on the line
Hmm. You
for
don't
him.
think he's already on a thin line? I think he's on a thin line now.
Oh,
My
I think
blood
he's on a
pressure
thin
was
line.
sky
Now I
high at
said he'll be. I
homecoming.
said now when they go get to Penn State, will we get James Franklin?
But then the thing is, with Penn State, what they say, they gave the man everything he needed to be successful. Here you go, which we know is rare for a black head coach. Here you go. Here's all the things. So what is it? Is there something underlying that is some back office politics that we are
Right.
not privy to?
I think so. Now when you come to the South, it's a different beast. It is simply a different ball game, and so whoever they're going to get is going to have to, I think, have understood the South, maybe have been from the South or whatnot, because LSU, Alabama, oh, these are machines, right? These
Hmm.
these are machines, and
And
so
nobody's bigger than the program.
nobody's bigger than the program. So they're going to have to find somebody who's going to be able to walk in line, build community, who can recruit at these high schools, etc. So we'll see with Brian Kelly. I'm hoping that they can start pulling it off, but it's not looking good for LSU.
I mean, well, speaking of Louisiana and the boot, you spoke about LSU, you mentioned Southern Grambling. We not doing what we need to do too, baby. I don't even recall us ever back when my heyday. We were bringing home championship rings. You hear me? And I'm just like, I can't even brag anymore. Like, I mean, I'm always gonna bleed black and gold, just like you, but purple and gold. It's all love because it's Louisiana. But I'm just like, we have never, I don't recall us being this low in rankings in a very long time.
What's going on with Grambling? What do you think?
I Altogether, Grambling as a whole, we have a new president, some fresh administration, some fresh faces. I have so much hope in Grambling as a whole.
Right.
Now, we have to whittle down to athletics. I think that once the head is together, then you can get the rest of the body together. And I'm not sure what the disconnect is, because something is going on over there in that athletics department with that
Yeah.
head coaching that
Yeah.
is not moving. And we can't just say like, oh, it's with the new changes, because it's been a couple of years. I'm like, every year I'm like, we're revamping our program. We're revamping our program.
We can't revamp every year. We will
And then
never.
lose to TSU. Doug is sick of us. He don't want to come.
You
He
know?
ain't coming back. I got somebody on the call right now. Mark, hey Mark, I know Doug ain't coming back. He watching from.
Listen, and I'll be here for Doug too. I'll be here for Doug. Obviously Grambling play now. Tell us a little bit about the Vegas game. Grambling
Oh
is
yeah, so
playing.
Grambling will play. Now Jackson State is number one in
I was gonna
so
pull up. I didn't pull up Jackson State.
yeah.
Yeah. Jackson State is attempting to become only the second team to ever win consecutive Celebration Bowl titles, with North Carolina AT&T being the only program to accomplish this feat. Jackson State is the defending Celebration Bowl champion and opens at the top-ranked HBCU team with quarterback Jacobian Morgan. A lot of people are watching this guy as the next big thing, Jacobian Morgan, the QB at Jackson
So you
State.
got Jackson State up there right now, and we know that when Dion was at Jackson State, he started more former NFL players going back to HBCUs to coach, which I really love. I know quite a few people who have done that. And even when he's left, you see the program is still sustaining in number one. So we
Yeah.
have number one Jackson State playing Grambling on Saturday in Vegas for the they named it a classic, y'all.
It's a classic.
HBCU Classic. We got the verses going on after the Cash Money No Limit verses going on after. We need those boys focused and locked in on this game.
We need, listen, it's a whole thing. I don't know, Chanel, you're going, I can hear you, but you're distorted, like face wide on my end. Like I can see myself clear, but you were clear at one point and then now you're not so clear.
Okay.
But I'm with you where Jackson State is coming to ball. They're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do
You see
at
me
this
now?
point. Yeah, I can see you. I can see
Okay,
you.
good.
And yes, it's a big, there's a lot of people are going to Vegas, obviously, for this.
Mhm.
There's a lot of events circling around this game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on TV, and I saw on Instagram that they're going to live stream the verses.
Yeah, it'll
And
definitely be televised. The game will be on
yeah,
TV, and I'm like, don't embarrass. Like, we played Ohio State at the beginning of the season, and them boys needed scholarships. That's all I'm gonna say.
listen,
Pay for these boys' education, because the way Ohio, I would have been mad if I hadn't known the big picture, because the way they whooped up number one.
listen. I'm gonna let them have it when they decide to do when they decide to have these, like, okay, we're gonna have these top Power Five schools play these HBCUs. But I also understand, like, it puts eyes on HBCUs. Like, we want
Right.
eyes on HBCUs. There's some quality talent. I went to the HBCU Legacy Bowl earlier
Mm-hmm.
this year. There were a lot of talent in the room. A lot of those guys I thought should have been invited to the actual NFL draft, not draft, the combine. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm excited that there are eyes on HBCUs, but some of it is just like, okay, like, is this for show? Is this?
Well, here's the thing about it. We know for a fact that HBCUs do not have the recruiting budgets to recruit the top players.
Yeah,
So we were talking about, we on Louisiana, let's talk about it. To recruit the top players, when they get through competing with all the the D1 schools, or the schools, and maybe if you have Big 12 SEC schools who have money to pay, not just scholarships, but NIL money available and whatever other money they can tap into, versus an HBCU who does not, who's struggling just to pay the coaches on time,
yeah,
struggling to make payroll and everything. What is the appeal?
yeah,
If
yeah,
I'm a player who's like, I might make more money NIL than I will make, obviously, coming out first year at 21 when I graduate with this 4-year degree, I have to strike while the iron is hot. They're
true.
competing with
They
such
are
big powerhouses, and some guys make more NIL money than some NFL players.
1,000%, and that is going to be the tee hee hee when it comes to NIL, because I don't see it currently, at least this year. I don't see a world where um HBCUs are going to be able to compete. I mean, the $22 million cap that exists for NIL, most of the Power Five, like LSU has already raised the 22 million. Most of these schools have already raised the 22 million. HBCUs have not raised the 22 million. And so it's like, how do you recruit? How do you recruit without being able to have this funding? So it's interesting how the world of NIL, because the transfer portal, as we know, are going to go back and forth. And to your point, if there's if this the QB, let me go back to his name, at Jackson State, Jacoby and Morgan, right? Like, if he is as elite as they're saying he is, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to be like, I'm not in the transfer portal and go collect
Right,
my
because you
coins.
have to, in order to recruit so they won't leave, they have to have a head coach that boys really want to play for. It has to be
Yeah,
bigger than the money. It has to, guys wanted to play for Deion Sanders at Jackson State. You have
yeah,
to have a coach that's going to bring in those top recruits, or a couple of, at least the second or third round of top recruits that didn't get into the larger schools. Because if you're talking dollar for dollar, we're not there. We're just not going
yeah,
to make it. Our alumni base, we don't have the alumni base and the endowments that some of these larger schools have,
yeah,
or even the boosters that some
yeah,
of these larger schools have, to be able to provide that much money. Because of course, if we have it, we would love to pay
yeah,
these boys work hard, but we don't
yeah.
have it.
They don't, and so I'm curious to see how they're going to approach this. Going into that, we have Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson obviously are now head coaches at Norfolk in Delaware. They are going to play each other Thursday, October 30th,
Okay.
which I think they've turned this into a classic. Obviously,
Hey, put some money on
um,
it.
we're all going to watch, obviously, because it's
Hmm.
exciting with both of them as head coaches. They're rebuilding these programs, but I'm wondering for those schools who have like the high profile coach, are they going to be able to raise the money and do all of the things when it comes to NIL? Because from Deion Sanders at Jackson State, like his sons had NIL deals because they have a name brand, right? Their last
Hmm.
name says enough. Whereas I'm curious to see if Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson are going to be able to bring in brand deals and things like that at those
Well, I
institutions.
think with when you have the coaches who have been in the NFL and who have names that are brands or that notoriety, so to speak, they, based on the conversations that I've had, they know different, and especially since they've played for really big colleges, they know different ways that the athletic programs could tap into more funding that may not have even thought about, or people at the HBCU campuses have not even thought about how to get in yet. They have the
Yeah,
access. So where they might not be able to raise them as much money, they can put you in the room with, they can connect you with the person who can.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see. I'm definitely gonna watch the game on the 30th. And keep it up. I think we all should keep up with what's happening with the HBCU players, especially the ones that are like our top five players, to kind of see like
Yes.
are they gonna stay at these HBCUs? Are they gonna report to the transfer portal at the end of 1 year? Because let's be honest, like money is gonna talk for all these athletes. I mean,
Yeah.
when LSU lost the QB that they had, and then he went over to Michigan for $14 million. I mean, are you going to counter? Like, what are we
Right.
going to do? What are we going to do? And so it's now a bidding war. It is now a full bidding war around like who is going to pay X amount of dollars. And then at the end of the day, from the institution standpoint, I mean, they have the risk of like, one, is the guy going to stay healthy? Is he not going to freaking tear his Achilles week 2 and then we need to spend all this money? Or are they going to put things in a contract where like you have to stay with us for a certain amount of years to get this money? Like, I'm trying to figure out a way of like how is the institution going to protect themselves, and
I
then how
mean,
does the
they would
player?
have to structure it like the NFL teams. They would have to they would have to kind of do some type of structure where it's like you have, I hate to say it because these are college students, but they're aspiring NFL athletes. Most of the
Yeah.
guys who are playing at the collegiate level want to go to the NFL, like that's the Northern Star. They would have to structure where it protects the institution.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
assuming we would assume, or it used to be, you come to school and you play football. Now it's like I'm playing football and I'm, may get a degree, may not, we'll see. So what happens
Right.
when they up and leave?
Right. I mean, what can you do? I literally feel like NIL shifts every couple months. Like there's it's a new thing, it's a new thing, it's a new thing.
Hmm.
And everybody's trying to wrap their head around it, around like, is there going to be a cap? Like if we have 22, and then what happens to, I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole about like what happens to athletes who are not football players. I mean, how do you get a piece of the pie given
Hmm.
most of the money is going to go to football and it's going to go to basketball
But
first?
it's
And
always
then,
been like that. That's not new.
yeah, that's the reality of it. I mean, that's the reality of it. So I'm curious to see, like, for example, at you have UNO, University of New Orleans, you got Master P that's now over basketball
Oh yes,
operations.
I
He
heard.
is putting a
Hmm.
lot of eyes on UNO. I think what he's doing is strategic because, I mean, at the end of the day, he has to recruit the top athletes to want to come there, and that is going to
Hmm.
require millions of dollars that he is going to have to either raise or figure out. Because if not, I mean, what top five recruit is going to want to come to UNO
And it's not fair to
without?
ask them to sacrifice that just to come to the school. I mean, it's just not fair. Like, why would I sacrifice possibly putting myself and future generations in a position for generational wealth just because I want to come to this, certain school? Like, it's cute, it sounds good, but come on now.
Yeah, yeah. Other athletes I have on here, obviously, again, Southern's. coach has been fired. I'm curious to see. I didn't read around who the interim is. Shakelby Givens, a player to watch, defensive end for
DN at
Southern,
Southern.
and
Okay.
yeah, and then Kevin King, the running back that's at Norfolk with Michael Vick, is an athlete to watch. And so those are three athletes, y'all. Jacoby and Morgan, obviously Jackson State, Sakel B. Givens, defensive end at Southern, and Kevin King, running back at Norfolk, are like the top three HBCU athletes to watch this year. Anything else to add, Chanel, about upcoming HBCU
It's Prairie
games?
View's homecoming. Let me make sure.
Who is PV playing? PV homecoming.
Actually new to the SWAC. Lincoln University hasn't. They haven't been in the SWAC a long time. Because
Who
we
are they
had an
playing?
influx. Lincoln University.
Lincoln. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with them. I know a few years ago we had some new schools
Okay, I see.
that entered the SWAC.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Lincoln. And then I was looking to see who else they have. Alabama A&M, Alabama State, and then Alabama A&M.
Mm-hmm.
They play after that. And then, of course, we have Bayou Classic in November. Um, I mean, the Saints fire, not the Saints, the Southern firing the coach. Um, I guess, I mean, again, they have fired 9 coaches this year. So there is no
It's
longer.
just the season. When it gets, let me tell you something. When it gets around Thanksgiving time, this fall, we love fall so much, but this is the time from here to the day after Thanksgiving, because you know they have those Thanksgiving games. Who's to say that after Bayou Classic, if whoever is there, whoever they put as interim and who we have as head coach now at Grambling, who's to say after Bayou Classic, hell, they both might be gone. It's just they're going to be gone over the next 5 weeks.
Oh, Chad said McNair is the interim coach.
Okay, McNair.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left. I
Okay.
started with NFL. We will end with NFL. I
Okay.
want to go to Shador Sanders at the Cleveland Browns. So obviously, Joe Flacco has graciously come to my Bengals, which I'm very excited about, while Joe
Okay.
Burrow is injured. Dylan Gabriel obviously is QB1
Mm-hmm.
for Cleveland. I was aggravated that they were not just naming Shador QB2, like they were doing this run around with him, which is annoying. Do you think we're going to see Shador on the field this season?
Not no.
You don't think so? Okay.
No.
I hope so.
We
Just say
hope
like
so, but we know
I.
that strategic they have intentionally kept not only kept him, they try not to even get him on a team.
Mhm.
So then you get on the team at this last minute, you go to Ohio and you're what, third round?
Yeah. Fifth? No, fifth. Was he fifth round?
And I guess I'm giving him
He
third.
was no. He was. He. It took a while to get to him, which we all know how
No, fifth round in
ridiculous.
the draft and third round, third string quarterback on the
Yeah.
team. He's third string, right?
Third string.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
well, now he's QB2 since they
Okay.
traded Flacco. So honestly, and I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but if Dylan were to get injured, he would be next in line. My hope, I think everyone is hoping for him to touch the field one time just to see what this man can do. How are you going to get better by not being on the field? And to be
They're
fair,
not trying to get him to get better. They're just like, it's kind of like, here you go. We'll put you on the team. We'll
we'll
take,
just
oh,
have you
damn.
there.
All right, we'll take him.
Do you think there's a possibility that he would be traded? Like some other team would trade for Shador?
If he
I can
got on the
see
field
it.
and he balled out, I bet you they would. I bet you they would be up for grabs. He would have to get on the field and ball out and not, there's so much of a microscope on the Sanders and
Yes.
that name in general. So anything that he says can and will be used against him, and even things that he does not say can and will be used against him. So he could literally get on the field, not say anything, and just ball out when he touches the field. And they're still going to find something. There would have to just be a brave team with a GM and a coach that are on the same
On
page.
the
And it's
same
like,
page.
we see them, we want them, we're going to get them.
Yeah, because the reality is they also not slick. Because what other NFL team do you even know the names of a QB2 or QB3? Who, the fact that he has media, like media is interviewing him as if he is QB1. No other team QB2 or 3 even gets interview questions. So
Yeah.
they ain't slick. They are strategic with these clicks and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, let's see how the games play out. If they are literally not going to make it to the playoffs, put that boy in the last 3
But they will
games.
get the big name player, pay you. I mean, because what is that? Deshaun Watson, right? Is he on injured reserves? They will get the big name player, pay you, and let you sit there and not play you. They will pay you but not play you.
They at one point I was reading something. They said the Cleveland was playing for. They were paying for 7 quarterbacks. How many QBs?
And I said, where they get the money from? They
I don't
got all
remember
this money,
because Shador, I think his salary was like 955, like about $1 million that he's
and
been getting.
that's nothing. That's nothing.
I
Yeah,
mean, he got more money in NIL
right.
at the end of the day. I mean, and if you remember, before the season started, when NIL clearly blew up, they interviewed both Shador and Travis Hunter. They were like, well, we could have stayed at Colorado for one more good year and collected this coin.
And that's why you see 30-year-olds going back to college to play football.
Oh, speaking of, okay, on my notes, Brandon Graham, who retired after the Super Bowl, has tiptoed himself back at the Philadelphia Eagles. That is all. Breaking
You get
news that was yesterday. Brandon Graham
addicted
said
to that. Those men are addicted to that life. This
I
all they
mean,
know
he
is
lasted
football.
not even a year, girl, and he is back. They interviewed Jalen Hurts and they said, Jalen, what do you think about Brandon Graham coming back? And he just put the microphone down and walked. He
Boy, quit
walked
playing
away,
with us.
girl.
Quit
He
playing with
walked
us.
away. I was like, not granted, I love BG. BG is lit. Like he's a great player.
Okay.
He's what 16 years? Like he is up there with years on his body.
He
But
did
I
some
just
drills. He said,
didn't.
"Oh, I got some more juice in me. I'm gonna go back out there. I got a little bit more juice in me."
Yeah, and then they lost. Oh my God, what's the
Oh,
guy that
goodness.
Cash Doll is dating?
Oh,
Smith.
Damari,
Last
is
name
it
Smith?
something to
Zadarius.
D? Yeah, yeah, Zaire. Yeah, he
He
retired
retired. So then they
mid-season.
lost. I don't know why he retired in the middle of the year. I'm so confused about
I
that.
mean, but you never know the way football impacts and takes a hit on these men's health
Yeah,
physically and mentally. You just never know. And I always say, get out while you on top, honey. You don't want to think
yeah.
that you got 3 more years in you or 2 more seasons in you, and you try to do something, juke somebody that you did when you were like 28, and then you laid out and they got to carry you out of there, and you're like, shit, I should have just hung up my cleats last season.
And hung up the cleats. Girl, but Brandon Graham, BG said, I'm coming back for one more Super Bowl. He didn't report it. It's October. And he didn't sign the contract. Who I gotta go look and see how much they're gonna give him this year. I don't even think it's about the money at this point for
At
guys
that
like
point,
him.
it's not about the money. They love the game.
They love it.
To even get to the point where I feel like to get to the point where you're a Super Bowl champion or just a certain level, all the guys love the game, but to get to certain points of excellence in any sport, particularly football, because that's what we're discussing, you have to love the game. These guys are eating, sleeping, and breathing football, and they've done it since they were
Well, that's all they
kids.
know.
Yeah, so when retire, it's only so much golf you could play.
And so many children you can have.
Your
Help
wife is
us,
used to you being gone.
Holy
You home, you
Ghost.
looking at her, she looking at you.
Brandon Graham, if you're watching it, we here for you. We gonna look. You gonna put that that icy hot on them knees, and he getting his ass back out
If he
there.
feel like he has more juice, I feel like more power to him. Go ahead and ball out
Listen,
safely. You don't want to do damage to your body that is that can't
I'm
be repaired. So just
we'll see
safely
what
ball out.
happens. I mean, he had big injuries, Chanel. Like before for the Super Bowl, for example, he didn't even play the whole game of the Super Bowl because he was already injured. He came in second half because he obviously really wanted to play the Super Bowl, and so for things like that, it's just like, man, like how worn down is his body given 15 years or whatnot
Mhm.
in the NFL, and the fact that he has come. I mean, that goes. Brandon Graham did not need to come back. I mean, the Eagles defense is solid. Like,
Mhm.
let's be very clear. It's basically for them. Basically, they didn't recruit it clearly straight from Georgia. Half of them boys went to Georgia, and
Got them dogs.
it's
They
not
got
like
them
that they were
dogs.
missing a big gap. But I mean, he said, "I'm going to report back."
He was on the team when they won a Super Bowl, so it was like, I'm coming back for another one. If he feels like he can do it, like I say
We
go
will
for it.
watch.
We'll
We're gonna
watch,
watch and see.
praying for his health and his strength as he, joins the team for another season.
Yep. So speaking of Eagles, I'm gonna go through our next upcoming game. So the Eagles play the Giants on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm excited about this because, like I said, Jackson Dart been playing his little ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, that yes, Jackson Dart been playing, child, and so this is a real test for him, though, to see like will he arrive playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, and so that's Sunday at 12 o'clock. Some of the other games I was talking earlier before you got on, the 49ers play the Texans. I don't know what's going on with the Texans. I don't know what happened with CJ Stroud, who I love. I love CJ Stroud. I've been following CJ Stroud since Ohio. And I can't put my hand on what is
I,
going on.
I have, I'm Houstonian. I'm here in Houston, and I have been to the games with CJ since CJ has, come to the Texans. I don't know what's going on. They have my blood pressure high. I mean, the Texans will be right there, right there.
They
Have
ain't
the
been right
lead,
there. They ain't been right there recently, sis. They ain't been right there.
and then just I don't know. It's like are they blocking for him? Like I don't want to say like is this player doing this? I don't know what it is going on with that O line or on the offense side, but there's something has to give because
Something has to
every
give.
game CJ is
Even in his face, when I was watching this last game, like when he would go sit on the sideline, his face looked like, oh fuck, like and I'm like, he don't even look like he's himself compared to and maybe that is the comparison because his rookie year and year two, I mean, he
mhm,
came out not looking like a rookie,
yeah.
right? And there was so much chatter about how great he looked his first year and this, that, and the other. To say now he looks, I mean, there are moments where he looks confused. I don't know if the word is confused or like he doesn't know what's going on. Given they have Nico Collins is out there, which is their weapon. They have Will Anderson on the defensive side, so they have some of their weapons. And I mean, I know some of the guys are injured as well, but
He
they
was
just
saying he
look.
didn't feel like his young stuff. He felt I was listening to a video or watching something. He said he didn't feel like his young fresh stuff anymore. I'm like, he's 29. He's not that old. He said, I'm not as fast as I used to be. I'm not. You're 29.
CJ Stroud. I think
Yes.
he's even younger than 29. I think he's like 25.
The
Because
man said he wasn't what he used to be,
something
and
is
everybody was
going
like,
on.
"Sir, you're not even 30."
Something is
Matter of
going
fact, you're
on.
right. He's not even 29 yet. So, like,
No, I think he's like 25. I think he's mid 20s. Because something is definitely going on with CJ Stroud. Hopefully he'll be able to figure it out because he is not playing
but
like we know he can play.
to your point, I know I heard him say that, or he's been quoted saying that. If he thinks that he is not his best self, he's not as fast as
He's
he used to
not.
be, he's not as agile as he used to be, he's not throwing as precise passes as he used to, he's not going to perform that way. So,
Yeah,
to your
I think it's
point,
a
it's
mental block.
mental. It's
I think it's
mental.
a yeah. I think it's a mental block. And CJ, if you're watching, we praying for you. We want
Yes,
you
because
to
we're going to
to
always
do
go for the
well.
home team.
We
So,
love you. We think he's a great human, and something is off. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to figure that out. Other notable games tomorrow, Vikings play the Chargers, which I think will be a really good game. I
Yeah, I think
think
that's gonna be a good game.
both of them have really good teams. The Vikings, obviously Justin Jefferson is phenomenal.
Yes.
Their QB situation just can't get right. Like I feel like since Jefferson has even been there, I feel like he has played for multiple QBs with the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm hoping that
Hmm.
they will figure out this QB situation soon. And then who is it? Justin? Is it Justin Herbert, QB for the Chargers, who has been playing well. So that'll be a really good game
Yes, that's gonna be a good.
tomorrow. Some of the other games coming up. I mean, like I said, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. Listen,
They
I'm not
showed
even a
out a little
Cowboys
bit.
fan. I'm not a Cowboys fan at all. I'm gonna be like Cam Newton. Dactavius, he got a new name because Dakota, I don't know who Dakota is, but Dactavius, he has been playing his ass off. They were
And
thinking
CeeDee
they were
Lamb making those big
CD
plays.
Lamb, George Pickens on that other side.
Yes.
Now their defense got to get it together. They didn't clearly they lost Micah Parsons, so they're gonna have to figure out the defensive side. But that offense really has been getting them where they need to be. And even this morning they were talking about like, is Dak Prescott in the mix for MVP? Which I was like, holy shit.
Don't push it. Don't
I
push
mean,
it. They got one good.
we stretching it.
Really bad.
Octavius, we stretching it, but the Cowboys play the Broncos on Sunday, which I think is going to be a really good game. Obviously, Bo Nix has been playing well too, and so that's going to be a game to watch on Sunday afternoon. And then there's some other good games as well. But I'm excited about that game in particular. I'll be watching
Mhm.
Cowboys and Broncos. I obviously will be watching my Bengals and Jets on Sunday. And as far as the New Orleans Saints,
Just do a second line on out. Just do it.
I'm a second line and start
See.
making a pot of gumbo
Yeah.
and
It's
pray for the best because we are 1-6
that don't
and
make no sense.
I I think Spencer Rattler is doing as best as he can at this point, but they're going to have to go back to the drawing board to figure out who or what they're going to need to recruit and draft for next year because it is not it is simply not clicking. It is not clicking for New Orleans Saints and yeah, that's all I mean, I have no other response for the home team. I have no other response. I wish them well and I hope it turns around. But they would have to win every game moving forward to have a chance to even step foot into the playoffs.
Not happening, friend.
Not happening. So I think we all should just second line,
Hmm.
continue to eat our gumbo,
Yeah.
be lit in the dome
Just let the
because
good times roll
let the good
without anticipating the win.
let the good times
Oh, I
roll.
said,
Saints, I'm hoping next year that we will assemble who we need to assemble
hmm
to have a fighting chance. But I do think that a lot of the guys are at their end, like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, some of those guys are at the end of their career.
Yeah.
And who have been holding on and staying on to try to get to a Super Bowl or whatnot. And so we shall see. Who are you interested in watching, Chanel?
I've honestly been on the college football kick. Everything has been this game this weekend. So,
Yes.
while I am excited, I mean, of course, I'm always going to watch a Philly game. I do um, enjoy watching the Vikings. I punish myself every game day that the Cowboys play. I don't know what it is. I guess when the Oilers left, Houston, and we didn't have a team for a little bit, I
Right.
started watching the Cowboys. I know what's going to happen. I just it's like a relationship where you know what you're dealing with. You just keep on going back for a little cocktail. I know it's going to happen, but I still watch the Cowboys. Guilty
Yeah,
pleasure. I don't know. But
I do
I
too.
do. I don't know. I just always watch them.
I'm with you too. It's America's team. And mind you, I didn't really watch the Cowboys like years ago. Like I knew the players and this and that and the other, but like last year and this year, I've become mainly because I really like George Pickens. Like
Hmm.
really like George Pickens. It's something about I don't know. He's like I don't know what it is. I like George Pickens when he was at the Steelers. He's like a little rebel. Like I'm here for George Pickens, and he is showing his ass off this year. And so I am here for both him and CeeDee Lamb. They just complement each other really well. And so I'm excited to kind of see where that goes.
So this what the Steelers play the Packers this week? You mentioned the Steelers. I
The
know we're wrapping up
Steelers,
on
yeah, the
time.
Steelers play the Packers, which
Okay, so I am looking forward to
that's a
watching
good
that
game.
game.
That's the night. That's the Sunday night,
Yeah,
7:30
I'm
Sunday
looking
night
forward to
game.
watching that game.
Yep.
I'm a
So you have
Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Tomlin has,
Tomlin.
has a great program over there, great organization that he's, putting forward. So I always look forward to watching them because they're consistent, if nothing else.
Yep. I'm with you. I'm excited about that game because you think about it because Aaron Rodgers came from Green Bay, so it's like he's playing his former team
Mhm.
with Jordan Love. So that'll be a good game, and that'll be Sunday night. So exciting football team, college games, HBCU games, NFL games. We are going to be glued to the screens
All
starting
weekend.
tomorrow. We're
Yes.
excited. Thank you to everybody that joined in with us. We
Hmm.
appreciate it. And we will be back with updates after the next week of all of these games. And we will stay tuned. It is the Wild, Wild West in
Every
football.
week is a reset.
Every week it is something different. As I started the show with, the Indianapolis Colts are 6-1.
Put some
That
respect
is
on their
enough
name
in
with that new
itself.
GM. Put some respect on their name.
Listen, that is enough in itself. We better get ready because I can't even tell you who I think is going to make it to the Super Bowl because it is simply the Wild Wild West. So y'all stay tuned. Thanks for joining with us. Thanks for sipping with me. Chanel, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and we are excited. We will catch up with all of you very soon.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
team.